because Carrie refuses to use it.
I don't blame her.
I'm not putting anything into the black tanks.
Along these roads we roam, we find adventure through traveling, camping, boondocking, and exploring.
Hello everybody and welcome to Vlogcast episode number 92. My name is Russ.
I'm Carrie.
And we are the roads we roam. We're a couple living full-time in our little guy Max. Today we are blessed to have Amanda and Ace with us from Two Doves Nation, and we're going to talk about finances. First off, I think what we're going to do is Carrie and I are going to do our standard run through exactly what our finances are, and then we'll get into some questions back and forth, and Ace and Amanda will be able to share with y'all what their experience is, and we'll do the same.
Yeah, it's a really special episode for us. We typically do our 1 month review for finances. You can check months 1 through 4. We'll put links below to each of those summaries so you can see how we've been doing as we go along the way. And we thought it was interesting to invite Ace and Amanda along so we could kind of hear how it is for other RVers and whether or not we're on track or if we're just really, really crazy. So for this month, for our month 5, we actually hit that last week on the 19th, but we were at the Escapees Escapade, so we're getting you caught up now. The big one, I'll just start off with the big one, food. Food, we had a goal of $600 for the month.
Yeah.
We did not hit that.
Nope, we haven't hit it yet.
$789.53, and part of that, I blame the Route 66 resort because the casino just lured us in and that buffet was pretty darn awesome.
Yeah, there was a lot of buffet eating that day.
We can't blame the Oink Cafe because the Oink Cafe was pretty amazing and we had a gift card, so we were good there. Lodging, now this one we are starting a different transition, so we did spend a little bit more than last month, $414.58. Again, the bulk of that was for the Route 66 casino resort. It was worth it. It was a good experience. That was well over $200 for us for that one. But we spent 14 days at a campground hooked up, 11 days at campgrounds with no hookups, 3 days boondocking. 2 were full on, our first time out in the wild boondocking.
Hightown, New Mexico.
In the wild.
Yeah, yeah.
And then 1 day was at a harvest house, so that was our boondocking there. This month we hope to get a lot more boondocking. You might be able to see this amazing scenery behind us.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yes.
We lured them out here with a promise of great scenery, and it didn't let us down. And apple pie.
Apple pie that you guys actually brought.
We said if you want that apple pie, you need to follow it.
Yeah.
So fuel, we spent $613.96. We were in the state of New Mexico nearly the entire time, and rather than just do the miles, one, I didn't really track it because we just stayed local, but because of our trouble with Wi-Fi connections the month, we spent a lot of time traveling back and forth into the town from our campsites just to upload videos. But we just kind of hovered around New Mexico along the I-25 corridor, so you can travel as much or as little as you want during that, but we did spend a good amount of money.
We did.
$28 on propane. We refilled our propane tanks twice.
Yep. $14.92 I think at Walmart right now.
You can't beat that one. Russ has gone to a couple places, looked at the different exchanges or even refilling at some places, and it's definitely the cheapest one that we can find.
Yeah, the most expensive one I found was a gas station, $25 for an exchange.
You're kidding.
No, crazy.
That you might as well just buy a whole nother tank for that much.
Exactly, yeah.
That was right off the I-10 in Tucson, right by the Pima County Fairgrounds.
Exactly.
No
So
way.
don't do the exchange, but they do have a refill there. So Russ said, well, I'm not exchanging mine. Come meet me out at the pump, and then we refilled it, and it was a lot cheaper.
About $15 for that.
Equipment, we spent $73 on a new jack. Our old one was still working, but it was kind of on the fritz, and Russ used his handyman skills, and we have a nice shiny new jack that has a handle that flips over, by the way.
Yeah, Ace was like, really? You didn't know that didn't flip over?
Yeah, he came up to me and said, Russ really knew that, right? I'm like, no, he really didn't.
Yeah, I did. I was just doing it for the drama.
Everything for the show, I get it. $28 for the magnetic latches for our cabinets, which Russ still has a few more to install.
Yep.
But we have that. And I didn't know whether to count this or not, but because Russ lost his glasses, that's an equipment. You can't drive without them. We spent $300 on glasses. And then laundry. $10 at the resort casino. We did 3 loads of laundry there for $10, which is not bad. And $12 at the Wilcox KOA. So $22 this month on laundry. So overall, we still have room for improvement. That food is really going to get us, which I'm really curious to see. What is the hardest thing budget-wise for you to keep on track?
Our food.
Yeah.
It
Okay,
really
I don't feel
is.
so alone.
Well, one thing that we find that's so hard is it's hard to cook in our little casita kitchen the way we're used to cooking.
Yes.
So this month has been a little bit better for us because what we've done is we've done more prep, I guess you could say. I try to have, like, especially if we're going to go boondocking, so we don't have to heat up the rig or anything like that, like having a pasta salad or some kind of vegetable or fruit salad already ready, and then all we have to cook is like maybe a protein to go with it if we want or something like that. And that has helped us a little bit more. But our first month, we were like, I don't feel like cooking, let's go out to eat. And that, you know, that's like $30-$40 a pop every time you go out to eat.
Now, you've been on the road since January, right?
Yes.
So they're very much right along the same timeline as us. So the learning curve as a newbie, be prepared for that. And it's going to take a little while. We're still in the process of learning. They're still in the process of learning.
Yes.
But it gets pretty quick when you start looking at, I think anybody starting out, keeping track of your monthly expenses just to see.
It's very important, and then that way you know where you can adjust what things you need to improve on. And one thing we found too, because it was cooler when we started, it was harder for us to cook outside. So we didn't want to always cook inside, so we ended up eating out more. But now the weather, you know, it's springtime, it's warming up, and you don't mind cooking outside, and your stove actually works because it had been so windy in Texas and New Mexico, you couldn't even cook outside.
We ran into the same problem.
He threw away a little tabletop
a stove grill.
Because the wind
just came. You just couldn't cook on it. But I think you bring up a very valid point. Preparation, because a lot of times we will do the same thing. We'll decide, you know what, let's just grab something because it's quicker and easier, and that's human nature, really, is to take the easier out. And the fact that you've actually having that prep set up already, you've made it easier. So I think that's a great option. Good tip there.
Just example, like when we said we were going to have taco night, we're like, okay, let's go ahead and buy it. We'll go ahead and marinate it. We'll have it ready, and then all we have to do is just throw it onto the
It doesn't seem as much of a process if you've done half of it already.
Exactly.
And guys, if Ace or Amanda ever invite you over for taco night,
make you tacos. If you see them say, I want the pork tacos,
you've got to go. If they do. Ace is an amazing cook.
The company, really.
The company and the scenery, I think, is what made it. Anytime you cook outside, it makes the food taste better.
That's true. We have amazing company between the four of us. We all get along real well. We had great conversation. So it was just a fantastic night.
You know, that does bring up a point, though. So we're out here boondocking. They've joined us. They cooked dinner last night. We're going to cook dinner tonight. And if you meet up with other people, you can also share the cost of some of the food and the expenses, and I think it extends the amount of food that you can have as well. So another reason to get out there and meet some friends.
Yes.
What is the easiest thing to stay on track?
The easiest thing to stay on track is actually, it's been fuel for us. Looking at all of our other expenses, we've been actually under our fuel budget the whole time, which is really good. But we also travel pretty slow. And we'll park our rig, and then we'll, you know, almost do like a wagon wheel spoke thing. We try to find a central location where we want to camp, and then we go out maybe for a day here or a day there, and then that way we're not constantly towing our rig behind us and using up our
That's
fuel.
a great point as well, because gas mileage drops significantly when you've got that thing behind you. I don't care if you're like like the both of us, we have small rigs, but we feel it in the gas mileage,
Oh,
don't we?
definitely. There's a huge difference.
And it's a definite plus for having a tow behind, because you can get to your destination, save a little bit of gas by unhooking, and then going off and doing your venture. Where if you just had an all-in-one, sometimes you're limited unless you have a towed.
Yes.
So for us, the gas, until we figure out our WeBoost, Wi-Fi Ranger, whatever we're going to do, which we've got to kind of figure that out.
Yeah, we still spend a lot of money on gas. Unfortunately, we haven't been blessed with places like this where we have great Wi-Fi and we can upload here.
This was a shock. We are in the middle of nowhere,
yes.
down dirt roads,
Yep.
and we have great coverage.
So we have Verizon and we have full LTE bars. What do you guys have?
We have Verizon
Okay.
and we have our Verizon.
Jetpack.
Yep.
You
Yep.
guys have the yeah.
Exactly.
And we're just outside of the Tucson area, so Verizon is very strong here. Even when we were down at the campground at Escapade,
Yes.
it was very strong as well. So when you hit those spots, it's great. But what we ran into in New Mexico, wherever we chose to camp, we were 16 to 19 miles one way away from the closest upload place.
That's just how it is. That's how many miles we have to drive to get Wi-Fi.
Well, see,
Yes.
that's the justification for the WeBoost, I think.
Yes.
For the time and the gas that we're spending going to and from, if we could just have one of those, I think that would help a lot.
Definitely.
One thing that we've run in with our jetpacks too is because we go through that 15 gigabytes like that when we're uploading. So
Us
we don't
too, yeah.
we don't even upload on our jetpacks anymore. We just kind of edit and do whatever we need to online, and then we'll go somewhere ourselves.
Like a
That's what
Starbucks or McDonald's
Yes.
or something.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
See, and that's what we did. And for most people, a lot of people say, oh, well, there are these great unlimited plans. The unlimited plans are great, but if you do have jetpacks, a lot of them throttle at 15. You can still upload, but it's incredibly slow.
Yes.
And that's what we've run into. That's what they run into. And when you're putting out videos all the time like we are, first week it's pretty much gone.
Yes.
So that's why we ran into that. But it is what it is, and we're working through it.
Yep.
And McDonald's typically is consistently the fastest free Wi-Fi, and it's everywhere.
Yes.
The one in Deming,
Super fast.
super fast.
Yeah.
Now, what has gotten easier for you than what you expected?
I think living in such a small space,
Yeah.
like you kind of have to get used to the idea of small spaces. I think we're more comfortable with each other a lot. We have to be because we live in such a small space.
Exactly.
Well, you brought up a good thing the other day. I can't remember if it was you or you that said less trash.
Yes. Yes. It was me. Okay. He thinks it's the same amount because he's the one that takes it out and throws it away.
It's more trips, but they're smaller bags.
Yes. Definitely less trash, and just even the overall awareness of the use of everything that we have, because it's all right here together, and it seems a lot less wasteful.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think too, you save a lot of money because you are mindful of the space that you have. There are a lot of cool things that we see, even like tchotchke gift shop things. You're like, oh, I want that. Well, where am I going to put that?
There's
Yes.
so much I would have bought.
Especially food.
Yes.
Oh, that looks great.
But where am I going to put it? We just bought groceries. It's full right now.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
don't even
For me,
know
it
why-
was hard to retrain your brain on that great Sam's Club deal
Yeah,
where you
that
can get
ball.
50 pounds of
Yes.
apples for $2.
Man.
Well, I need to get that because the cost, it would get wasted
Yeah.
with us unless you just ate apples all week.
Yeah, I can do a little bit, just not all week though.
But no, I think you're right. As far as the wastefulness, you're more aware of what you're using. You're buying less. You have fewer expenses as far as you don't have the trash collection bill anymore.
Yeah.
You don't. Bob, RHS Tools, one of the gentlemen that watches us, and he just went full time himself. He did his first several weeks, went through his propane, and he spent $30 on propane in really cold weather. And he said, "This sure beats my winter $300 bill that I used to have for my house."
So I'm
Yes.
curious, what is your typically what's your usage of propane?
We have two 20 pounds, and we have yet to have to refill it.
Oh.
Well, one thing is we don't have propane heat in our unit.
So that
we have to use the little cartridges. We have a buddy heater.
Yep.
So we don't use heat. The only thing that we use it for is the water heater, which we typically try not to shower in our unit.
Us too, yeah.
Because it's so small and the tanks are smaller.
Yep.
And so the only thing we really use it for is to heat water when we're washing something and to cook with.
Okay. So
Now, can you explain the buddy heater really quick?
Yes.
This was something new that I did not know about when I first started RVing. More and more people have mentioned it to me, so if you could give a quick overview of that.
Yes, buddy heater is a propane heater that also has an oxygen sensor. It has a lot of safety features, but it's essentially just a heater that uses gas, and it has an element that it heats up. So the flame is constant, but it's very small, and it heats the element hump. It heats the element up, and it radiates the heat through. And in our rig, it takes it maybe 10 minutes at the most to heat our rig up.
The propane that it uses are those little green canisters.
Yes,
it uses.
Okay.
Yes, it uses the little green canisters. We have a smaller one because our rig is smaller. So actually, our whole unit, it just sits on top of the canister, and it has a base that you sit into.
It's portable.
Good.
And it also has a sensor, so even if we step too hard and rock the unit, it cuts off. So it has a tip sensor.
So here's a question, kind of bringing that back more to a financial round. I know you have not had to refill on your 20 pounders since you've been on the road.
Right.
How many times have you had to buy new canisters for heat?
I think we probably went about 8, and we still have 2.
Yes, we bought 8 canisters, I think, and we still have 2 left. And that's between our buddy heater and our outside range.
Gotcha.
Our stove that we cook on.
Okay.
And that's since January.
Yes, that's since January.
Yeah, so that's pretty solid.
And how much does a buddy heater run, or what did yours cost?
That one, I think at Walmart, it was
$80. It was
it was
a gift.
It was $75. It was actually a housewarming gift from my parents when we bought our rig.
See, for people getting ready to hit the road, put out your Walmart or Target registration.
Yes.
They should have transitioning to RV life registration things like they do
Oh,
for
I
weddings
love it.
and stuff like that.
Yes. Or you could just do Amazon list.
That's true.
Yeah. Yes, we can do Amazon.
wish list. But
I love Amazon.
oh, I do too. But they have different sizes as well. They have some that the cartridge goes on the inside and it's bigger. It's like a boxy unit.
Okay.
And it has a temperature control, and you can get as fancy as you want with those buddy heaters, but we just went with a really simple one.
To be honest with you, if we looked at going that route, I think with the size of our unit, that would be sufficient for us as well, I think.
It's a great alternative when you can't plug in.
Yes.
That's one of the things, especially now as we want to do more and more boondocking. We are relying more on our propane, even though we do have a plug-in heater for those times. But we've found that even just our electric space heater wasn't sufficient. But so many people have talked positively about the buddy, and it sounds like it's economical enough for you to consider at least having that as a backup for your unit.
Yes,
So.
even if a safety net, if you're going boondocking out somewhere and you're not really sure of the weather, that's really nice to have. And honestly, if even for bigger rigs, it would be really good to have if you need to heat the space underneath your rig to keep pipes from freezing and everything. Because this one is smaller, you don't even have to put it exactly under it. You can just face it toward the underside of your rig, and you would prevent freezing your pipes and tanks.
Just skirt the outside.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm wondering, do you guys have any? Do you use any like gas programs? Like we're part of Good Sam's, and with Good Sam's, if we go into a Pilot's or Flying J, we can swipe that card, and I think it gives us 15 cents off.
5 cents off.
5 cents. I wish 15 cents, but 5 cents. Do you?
He does the
utilize
happy
any of
dance
that?
every time he saves some.
We have not utilized Good Sam, but what we have done, because we're still new, we had a lot of fuel points that we saved up from Kroger, actually, and grocery stores.
That's a good tip.
And what we've done is sometimes we pay attention because they'll do like triple or quadruple fuel points when you purchase a gift card.
Oh, okay.
So what we'll do is we'll purchase a gift card, get those extra fuel points, but that gift card can be for the gas that we're purchasing.
That's a great idea.
Very smart.
Great idea.
And so you're getting the extra fuel points. Yes, you're spending a little bit of money ahead, but it's still money you're going to spend on something essential if you get the right gift card. Don't just go get a crazy, like, I don't know.
So one of the things that I find interesting about your channel, like Carrie and I, they have a military background, and you guys do a lot of stays at military campgrounds as well, and you can save quite a bit of money doing that, right?
I think
Yes.
that's where a majority of our saving is. Like what gas you just mentioned, it's
What is
about
it-
5-10 cents cheaper.
So what does it
Okay.
typically cost for a stay at the military campgrounds?
The most expensive we've paid is $20 a night at military grounds.
That's full hookups.
That was full hookups. And then the cheapest was $5, and that was water and electricity.
Okay, so you got partial hookups. Wow, that's
Yes.
a great deal right there.
Yes, and that has really saved us, and it's helped offset our eating out costs a little bit right now too.
Yeah, and what Ace was talking about too, that you'll save money purchasing gas on
Yeah.
base.
base. On base.
Doing your grocery shopping on base as
Yeah,
well,
if
correct?
you
Yes.
Be entertained, bowling and stuff.
Yeah.
Everything is about 25% cheaper.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
And it's tax free.
Now I'm going to throw a question out to everybody. Each
Okay.
person
Okay.
has to answer.
All right.
What do you consider is the best purchase outside of your rig for your full-time lifestyle, economically wise? You know, this saves you, or you just love it and it was a great cost.
So we have 4 people, so we'll get 4 answers here. We'll start
Okay.
with Ace.
Okay. I think.
His drone.
Well, honestly, my the buddy heater that we got is pretty much the first time we went boondocking. We're like, oh my gosh, it's so freaking cold. Or,
Yeah.
we stayed at like a
A rest stop.
rest stop, and it was so freaking cold. We're like, oh, I wish we had some sort of heat.
Yeah.
So then we got one, and it's been a lifesaver.
Fantastic.
Because, yeah, I think it's a buddy heater.
What
So
about
Buddy
you,
Heater
Amanda?
has one vote.
That's a really hard one because I'm still trying to figure that out. I'll go with my favorite new purchase for boondocking.
Okay.
How about that?
That
Okay. I got a collapsible basin to put into my sink. So when I'm washing dishes or whatever, everything goes in that and I can dump it out. I use an environmental friendly soap. So I can just kind of dump it out wherever, and I don't have to put the water into my gray holding
Very
tank.
good, which extends your ability to stay out.
Yes.
Now,
Okay.
we knew roughly the cost of what a Buddy Heater. How much did you spend for your collapsible?
My collapsible basin, I think, of course, on Amazon, I
Yep.
think I spent $13 on it.
Broke the bank on that one.
So Carrie, what about you?
Mine's a little bit away from the boondocking bit, but the Instant Pot.
Oh, yes.
Because I do not have an oven, and that was one of the must-haves that I wanted in a rig, and then I just fell in love with our little guy, that we were able to get the Instant Pot, and it gives us that when you're in that mood for just a home-cooked meal, and you can make a roasted chicken or stew.
I
and
think
all
it goes
that.
back to what Amanda was saying, is it makes it easy.
Yes.
So you're more likely to cook inside. I have to say that mine is more towards the boondocking. It's something that I just bought yesterday, and it's twofold.
Is it the tent?
Yeah, the privacy tent and the luggable loo.
Okay, I
my
think at the
gosh.
end of this video, we are going to show a very short clip of the two of them
Possibly
Ace and
not.
Russ.
No,
It's going in.
that's a Saturday thing. But no, the luggable loo, what those two things do is it allows us, or me, because Carrie refuses to use it.
I don't
but
blame her.
I'm not putting anything into the black tanks. So it allows us to stay out longer, which means that we don't have to go pay for a dump fee. We don't have to go pay for full hookups. And so it saves us money in the long run. I think that luggable loo cost me about $24, and the privacy tent was $49.99. And Carrie and Amanda had an amazing time watching Ace and I struggle trying to get that back into the package, huh, Ace?
Yeah, we managed.
We
That
did.
was-
Well, you did a lot better than I did. I was just kind of sitting around scratching
No,
my
we
head.
both had-
23 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
We get more help, but
And
Yeah.
we were laughing the whole time.
Okay, I will let you edit it and put it on the
It'll
Saturday.
be a Saturday
video.
thing. Otherwise, we
Okay.
won't get this video out today. But I think that's, if I'm not mistaken, that's all we have for right now.
Yes, if you have any questions about the finances that we reported today, or any questions for Ace and Amanda, leave a comment below, and I will also put links, as I said earlier, to our months 1 through 4 spending reports, so that way you can kind of see how we're doing, and maybe if you have any tips or tricks for us as we move forward in the future. We know we're going to be focusing a lot more on that food. Fuel is going to be a tough one as we push on to Alaska now.
Yeah.
But I think food is definitely going to be our biggest thing, and we will be boondocking a lot more, so we will continue to save on those lodging expenses.
Yep, that's all for now, guys. This is Russ and Carrie from The Roads We Roam, and we have Ace and Amanda from
Two Doves Nation.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.